What's good, YouTube? And welcome to Flavortown and Soul Society, baby. Now, this one might be a thanks, John Moore buyout. The Code Talker Heat Soul Quarter Century Secret Rare skyrocketed, was even memeable screenshot at $150 on the entire market post-market watch of the previous video. I did say that I thought you might want to get it sooner than later, and at this price point, I would probably hold off for a little, yet it is getting sales. And if you're doing these buyouts, use that TCG player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra. Support the channel directly for the cards you'd already be buying, even though I personally wouldn't advise it, because the true winners are the people who already had it on hand. Look at these sales at $20+ on this card as it already repopulates and starts to cool down a little. In fact, the min-maxes are going to compete on this, right? You have a collector rare, an ultimate rare. Now, quarter century secret rare is the highest rarity in rarity collection. It's undisputed at this point. It's winning for pretty much every iteration of a card, but these min-maxes are very nice and very easy to settle on. I do think this looks excellent in this rarity, but I do see it probably going back towards like $12, $14, and then the question is, where will people go? Will that group or person buy it out again? Where's it actually going to go from there, and how fast will it repopulate? Well, rarity collection was mass ripped open. I'm sure there's a lot of people who will end up getting this in, end up selling it, and it's a cool card, but not the hottest mover in the set. All of the temperature puns. Now, if you thought I was done selling out, I have my biggest sponsor to date in name, maybe. Displate now has an affiliate link with the channel. They have an officially licensed Yu-Gi-Oh collab, and when you use my link, it's 20% off for 2 or less Displates, and if you buy 3 or more, it's 30% off, pretty much beating any of the on-site sales. Also, to support creators, I really appreciate it, and when I reached out to their management team, I said, I don't want cash for advertising spots. I want only commission for sales as well as physical product, because I'm a huge fan of Yu-Gi-Oh posters and banners, and when you're getting 3 medium Displates, which are sizable, you're like paying what one set banner would go for, and these are licensed, and who knows how long that deal will last between, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh and Displate. And they have full art of like Cyber Dragon. It's not just DM era boomer hype, although a lot of the posters are really cool art reimagined of those classics, in my opinion. Like, I got the Joey Wheeler one coming in that I'll show off. I also got the Karibo, because this is my favorite art of Karibo, hands down. But the very first sale with my link when I posted this on Twitter is Odin, and I thought about it, and I'm like, you know what? Storm of Ragnarok actually doesn't have a set banner. That's kind of cool, and it's full art, which you don't see. You can do glossy versions of posters, you can do frames, all sorts of stuff. I can't wait to actually get mine in, and I'll probably keep asking for ones like this Utopia as well. There's so many cool posters. Check it out using my link. No code needed. The discount will auto apply in your cart. I really do enjoy this collab, and the team was super nice as well. I'm sure a YouTuber reaching out like, hey, I don't want cash, I just want commission, was like, oh, that's a great deal. But I always want to put my audience first and never have the interest of a sponsor before the community. The funniest poster to me, by the way, actually, is this one that makes Merrick look like the good guy and Yugi look like the villain. This is probably the funniest poster on there to me. Wanted has a full buyout mode going, you know, no coolant post Black Friday, no recuperation of the market. There's only 6 listings for this on the entire market, and it's pushing up to be $100+ card. In fact, there's only 2 true listings, because the rest are all foreign. Wow, I should click more of these tabs before doing live reactions here on Market Watch, huh? So yeah, full buyout mode, winter market not offering any coolant on Age of Overlord, and maybe we should have expected that with only 2 good sets in the year between this and Rarity Collection, right? Also in Age, some of the super rares have movements. We already talked about Snake Eye Ash, it's up even further, but Fire Recovery for Fire decks is going. If you haven't read the super rare, target 1 fire monster in your graveyard, send 1 card from the hand to the graveyard, so cost of 2 for 1, and if you do, you special summon the targeted monster, but then it recoups. You can banish this card from your graveyard, target 3 of your fire monsters that are banished and or in the graveyard, shuffle them into the deck, then draw a card. That banished thing is kind of cool too, because sometimes, you know, things get targeted or taken care of out of the graveyard in this deck, or fire decks in general, and that's kind of nice to be able to recoup the cost and get your resources back in the fire decks. Also, Solomon Great Pyro Phoenix here has a buyout mode, good fire generic stuff, and even the Starlight Rare is moving at this point, so it seems like people are a lot more hype. I remember this was a call that flopped a while ago. I think actually Robbie called this one, and you can be right for the wrong reason. Eventually, it did stonk very well if you ended up holding on. Amphibious Swarm Ship, a blow whale. Yeah, even the rare for this is going up, and then there's an ultra rare sneak peek version. Remember when not every single sneak peek thing had to be of the secret rare, and it didn't mean it was a secret rare? This is kind of nice to see an upgrade, right? Well, this card actually has two funny plays. First off, you have the new Fire Princess that's going to be coming out that goes into this when you're fire locked and makes it very easily, but this happened to me on Master Duel, and I do see it spiking. World Sea Dragon Zealantis, Link 1, like any Link 4, you can just turn into this from any Link 4, including that, and it's very useful. So if it survives a turn, you can do that. If you're not fire locked, you can do this. And look, it's actually spiking up here, especially for this month, on all of its versions. I would get this card sooner than later. Who knows when the next reprint for it is? People don't necessarily want to open the 25th anniversary mega packs, so it'll be hard to repopulate. And it's a really cool tech that's still very, very cheap for the secret rare out of here that is, under 50 cents, while the original secret rare is also starting to spike and is pretty much doubled in price throughout the month. So if you want an OG secret, you could also go for that, still well under $5 at this point, but be aware those are spiking, and I only knew that play because it happened to me on Master Duel. It's kind of funny. Dogmatica Maximus. Yeah, I still look up things when they happen to me on DB and Master Duel. It's actually some of the best ground pound research, as funny as it sounds. There's so many streams where I'd be playing on DB, we'd see something happen, and it's not in the metagame, yet it starts appearing at regionals like a couple weeks later. It's super nice to pay attention and have attention pay you if you're looking for those kind of things. Dogmatica Maximus is going on its rounds of buyouts. It's still going up further in price, and the ultra rare is on full buyout mode. This is for future metagames, and if you want to look into it, you might want to pick up even the ultra rare at this point sooner than later. I mentioned Spiritual Beast and Ritual Beast because there's like a wind searcher for Rampengu, and people are like, I don't know if that's the reason. Well, look at Rampengu. It's up in price a good amount, and so are other Ritual Beast cards. Heck, these aren't even bulk at this point, and there's some of the newest support. Also, look, I know I already mentioned that one, but in the rares, Ritual Beast Ulti Kimufalcus is something to look at. I think I mispronounced that probably terribly, but seriously, it's only at 50 listings on the market and is starting to go up. So go through your bulk, look for your Ritual Beast stuff, and if you want to hollow out this deck, if you think about Kanahawk comboing people for ages, the secret rares are still relatively cheap, but the quantities continue to get lower, so you might want to get those sooner than later as well. I wanted to have an open discussion here because I know Konami once in a while tunes into my stuff. I'm already having this discussion on Twitter, but please fix side sets, Konami. It's not only for yourself, because it's your own interest for sets to do good. It's for stores, it's for players, it's for everybody. The main problem is ratios. When you have a set like this, selling out archetypes, it should not be a failing set, but consistently we've only had two good deck building sets and one really good world premiere set that we can call truly successful. King's Copium is not a true success at this point, in my opinion. Only Toon Chaos was, and then you have Amazing Defenders, and then you also have like the Grand Creators, and that's about it, and they barely treaded water. We're looking at consistently the ratios just destroying these sets, not making them worth opening, and then the archetypes inside go ridiculous just because people don't want to open it. Like, it should be win-win. The archetypes inside should be money. You could short print like 3 cards instead of 10 ultra rares at almost the old short print ratios, and the greed is killing these sets. The collector rares aren't enough. We need to go back to all foil side sets with collector rares added, and those sets would consistently sell out and be better for the community as a whole. Those bulk prices for some of those super rares would age like fine wine as well. Like, the entire sets would be covered. And if you don't believe me, like, go to Infinity Chasers, right? Like, I don't know what else to tell you. I actually have a couple more on the discussion, but I want to actually go for this real quick before I rant for too long. Reaper on the Nightmare is bought out mainly for Edison Instant Fusion, but also goes in GOAT Instant Fusion. That's about it. It's a really cool card. I used to play Instant Fusion Monarch, actually all the way back towards GOAT format, thanks to Jake pick Campbell for the list, and I would use like Book of Life because it's properly fusion summoned and remove cool cards from my opponent's graveyards. Tactical Masters though, this is a set that was down to $45 before any reprints. You have Runic, one of the top meta impacts, Labyrinth, huge meta impact, as well as iconic at this point. And look how the boxes have aged versus something like, okay, Secret Slayers, super iconic, all three archetypes inside turned out very well. Yeah, of course, it's going to be over $100 boxes, but look at this. Infinity Chasers. Earth Machine took forever to get results. And then you have Witchcrafters, popular due to Duel Links and pretty much nothing else. Evil Eye almost topped some regionals, baby. Like, this entire set, like, it shouldn't be this kind of box, but this is the power of all foil side sets and selective short prints instead of everything just going down in ratios. So when I talk about these sets, like, stores are going to be giving up on these more and more. It's bad for Konami's wallet. It's bad for the stores to just have product dead sitting there and end up, oh boy, Valiant Smashers again for the tournament. Well, we had to get rid of it. These are real problems at locals. And when it comes to sets like this, like, people want the archetypes inside, but Konami keeps getting greedier with the ratios, like the Versus stuff and the Centurion stuff, I think, has 5 URs, if I'm not mistaken. Like, they're getting greedier and greedier with the actual cards in the slots, and then the ratios are just so bad that it chokes the set out. People don't want to buy it, and then it's auto losses for stores to be selling this stuff, and it just continuously, every graph ends up looking like that. That's my rant for the day. Avoid side sets sealed, basically, until Konami fixes their crap. I know not everyone's going to boycott, but as vendors actually take less and less of it, the singles will get harder to get on pre-orders. You'll see more pre-order prices like the Centurion crap was at $400 freaking decks for a, like, deck that's an option, a choice, not the thing to play, and it just gets on my nerves a bit. Thanks for watching today's Market Watch, though. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Check out my Displate link. You can, again, start shopping with it. You just type Yu-Gi-Oh!, like no hyphens or anything, and there's a ton of really cool posters. I love the Red Eyes love throughout here, multiple Red Eyes designs. That's another one I asked for, and I know I'm the biggest, like, simp for merch probably in the community, even though I have products I want to get myself. This by far is one I'm super excited for and look forward to trying to maybe get some sales, get more of those posters for myself. Know what I'm saying?